Spoon bread from 1911. Haven't a clue what this is. It could be spoons made of bread or bread made of spoons. Into a saucepan goes 2 cups of water, plus a cup and a quarter of cornmeal. Cornmeal bothers me. On one hand, it's vegetable dust, and on the other hand, I have fingers. Fire! Cook until thick. What's considered thick, I don't know, but don't ask a man, because you'll get conflicting evidence. Thick! Next up, 2 tablespoons of butter. 2 cups of moo juice. It's very wet. Wet and loose. Yolks of 2 eggies. And separately, we beat the whites. Fold with 2 teaspoons of floof powder. What is this supposed to be? What do we bake this in? I have no idea. It could be a shoe for all I know. Oh, why is it so wet? But we bake at 350 for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm baking soup. Oh, my cookbook. Oh dear. This is not working. Spoon bread. Spoon bread. To think I have a college degree. It tastes quite good. Texture, no. Is that mean to say? Do people eat this? A strawberry Bavarian creamer from 71. For years I've searched for a gelatin mold that is edible, and for years I've done so in vain. This one purports to be different. We start with 30 ounces, about 4 cups of frozen strawberries. Thawed. Add a tablespoon of sugar, then lightly mashed. Squid. Then we strain. Keep a cup and a half of the juice. On the top of a double boiler, we add 2 packs of gelatin. 1/3 cup of sugar, pinch of salt, plus a cup and a half of powdered creamer. Yes, the big secret is creamer. Or him, I don't judge. Fire! Making a Jell-O mold creamy is kind of hard because adding wet ingredients to the ratio, like cream, hampers the ability to set. Whereas this goes in dry, but still ends up creamy. Quite smart, actually. Whisk in the juice. Yumma! Pepto! Once that's hot, we whisk in the yolks of 2 beaten eggies. Combine with the berries. Wow. Beat the 2 egg whites. Fold. But Dylan, that's not cooked. Correct. Only put it in raw if you're prepared for children. Into greased molds. Woo. To the fridge. Morning. Oh, it's not bad, is it? It's passable. Middle of the road. A bit bland. Ranch cornbread from 87. This book contains 5 secret cornbread recipes believed to be the lost sacred texts of Nebraska. Bake them all, die. Like the first bread, these are all 3-2-1 recipes, meaning we start with 3 eggy beat, 2 boxes of plain cornbread mix by the power of the Midwest. And as you may have guessed, 1 entire 16 fluid ounce bottle of ranch. You know, I've stopped being surprised and started becoming impressed. Corn ranch. Oh no. To a greased 13x9. For a gourmet option, are you taking the piss? Prickle? Sprinkle on a pack of ranch seasoning. The volume of ranch. Sprinkle with water to avoid dry spots. What type of Nebraska voodoo is this? $3.75 for 25 minutes. It reeks. My house smells like Hidden Valley. Dang. It's exactly like a ranch Dorito. The flavor blast and salty. That's a statement. Concerned as to why I like it. Tapioca pudding from the Great Depression. There's a few things in this world that I don't understand. Like salad spinners. Chief among them being the very old-fashioned. Just toss tapioca. Ridiculous. 4 cups of moo juice. Ooh, evaporated milk. Shut your mouth, Johnny. It's the Depression. You're lucky you're not licking plaster off the walls. Go to bed. Pinch of salt. 1/2 cup of sugar. And a 1/3 cup of minute tapioca. Not much has changed. Modern one is 1 gram lighter. Ooh. Mix. Beating in the yolks of 2 eggies. Come on. Keep the whites. Cook it over boiling water. Fire! They say a watch pot never boils. 12 minutes. Stirring all the while. She's so fancy. You're looking like a reanimated mannequin. That cool? Beat the egg whites stiff. Shall we see if we can do it by hand? Come on! 12 minutes. Combine the 2. Quite thin. Pour and chill. Ooh. Whoa. Very different. Crazy creamy. It would be a treat. Just a weird texture. I'm torn. A top of the Tetons pie from 89. This is a Wyoming recipe from out north in Jackson. Go Pokes! Good folks up there, but some of them are all hat and no cattle. Let's see about Judy. Start with a cup of unsweetened coconut, a cup of chalky chips, and a cup of pecans. Just throw it into a prepared pie shell. I like Judy. Unfortunately, she's asking for a 10-inch. When's the last time you've seen one of those? I have a 9-inch here, which should work, called manifesting. Then to a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of sugar. Beat in a 1/2 cup of corn syrup, of course. They can afford the dental work up there. Ooh. How do you beat? No, never mind. 4 eggies into the sugars. Seems immiscible. Pinch of salt, tablespoon of melted butter. Evenly dumped. Maybe don't pour it all in since we're not up to Judy's standard. 10-inch fridge. Then who put this oven here? 325 for about an hour. That's pretty good. I like magic cookie bars, but in a pie. Lovely. Everyone say thank you, Judy. You did a great job. It's a chunky pie. A powder cake from World War II. This has to be one of the most interesting recipes I've come across. We start with a 1.25 cups of powdered eggs. That's right, eggies can be dry. Crusty, ashy. Cup of 4X sugar. Just dead people talk for powdered sugar. Whisking together with a 1.25 cups of warm water. It smells like eggs, but at Goodwill. Some hand-me-down eggs. Pinch of salt. Sifting in a scant cup of powdered milk. Watch out, y'all, she gone powder wild. 2 teaspoons of floof powder. And 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. Get yourself some lotion. Whisking thoroughly. And into a greased 8-inch square. Ribbons. 350 for 35 minutes. Did you notice anything about that? There's no flour or any alternative. $10, it comes out an omelet. Wow. It's a pillow. It's a pet. It's a pillow pet. Squidgy. I'm impressed, but I reckon it'd confuse many. What are you? Flavor, eggy. Texture, chewy. It's novel. A soda cracker pie from 1940. Luckily, when this recipe was written, the Great Depression was mostly over. Oh boy! Just in time for World War II. Start with the whites of 3 egg yolks. Let go. Beating stiff while slowly adding a cup of sugar. Ready, set. This is ridiculous. Good Lord. All right. And don't suggest fresh eggs. Coarsely crushed 15 soda crackers. Dylan, what is a soda cracker? It's just the global name for saltines. Lovely squares of cardboard and sawdust. Cup of chopped nuts. That's some black walnuts. The everyman's nut. And we just fold it all together. Nice crunchy. Teaspoon of floof powder. Boop. Bit of vanilla. Turning into a shallow greased pie plate. Oh. Not much to this, is there? 325 until golden. It's a pie. A pie. It is humble, but considering what's in it, amazing. Chewy, light, refreshing. Reminds me of Food for the Gods in baking yesteryear. Shut up, I've not mentioned it in months. Charleston Chewies from '69. Straight from the South Carolina low country, this recipe looks like a heart attack. First, we melt some butter. How much? A cup. Whole cup. Woo, you coming? Woo! What do y'all like in the South? Butter. Anything else? Butter. Okay. Butter. Is it just butter? 2 cups of brown sugar. 2 eggs. 2 cups of flour, pinch of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of floof powder. It's tiny. Get it! Don't confuse this with the Charleston Chew, which is a candy bar for people with good taste. Nor is this the Charleston, which was a TikTok dance before TikTok. Ask your grandfather's grandfather about it. Actually, don't. You have to dig him up. He'd be kind of soupy. 2 cups of pecans. I used to say pecans before I was bludgeoned with a shoe in New Orleans, Louisiana. I now say pecan. Into a 9x9. What? Too much. Rub flat. Rub? I don't want to rub anything. Whose grandma's out rubbing stuff? 350 for 45 minutes. Wow. Crispy on the outside. Looks to be fudgy on the inside. Man and heaven. It's a cracking recipe is what this is. It's so good it's in danger of becoming my dinner. A Kool-Aid pie from '87. This comes from Hastings, Nebraska, where Kool-Aid was invented. Now they worship it. They got like parades and fairs and everything. Nebraska stuff. Start with a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Liquid toothache. We just mix in one of these small packs of Kool-Aid. We're using grape because it's second to none. Tell me otherwise and I will fight you. Ooh, oh no. That's that Exxon Valdez purple. Zest of a lemon. Pretty exotic for Nebraska. And the juice of a lemon. Can't be wasting none of them fancy things. Them newfangled citrus. Pinch of salt. And a good old tub of Cool Whip. A Midwest special. This is kind of pretty now. Slap her into a 9-inch graham cracker crust. Don't let anyone tell you you can't use pre-made. Those people are just unhappy with their love lives. Ooh. To the fridge, 4 hours. Happy birthday, book. First cut is the hardest. Do-do-do-do. What? Nom 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 nom. That tastes like my childhood. Light, refreshing, very summery. Pie of the summer right here.